Hey, you've only seen him on YouTube. Okay, no pressure. No pressure. All right, well, now's your chance. I think they've been with us before, maybe 8 years ago or so. Yeah, it's been a while since they've been back. So we're very, very excited to have them back. Yes, yes, you can play whatever you want tonight, guys. Would you please help me welcome to the Fogartyville stage some of Canada's finest, the Andrew Collins Trio.
Thrilled to be here in Sarasota. I don't know how many people know what's happening in the weather up north. We're extra happy to be here in Sarasota. And you guys have so far won the best weather that we've experienced in Florida over the last couple weeks award. So thank you for letting us have a taste of some warmth. My name's Andrew Collins. This is Daryl Polson on the guitar. Mr. James McEleney on the bass. Mind if I ask you a question? Have you ever gotten drunk? No one here. Okay, one honest person in the room says yes. Are you drunk now? No, you don't have to answer that. Anyhow, this song was written by a good friend of mine back home, and I don't know if you've been in a relationship like this before, or you've known a couple in a relationship like this, but it was an autobiographical song. It was about a relationship that he was in, and they're a lovely couple, wonderful people, and they like to drink from time to time. But unfortunately, every time they got drunk, they ended up in an argument. So he wrote this song about it, and it hit a little too close to home, I think, because his girlfriend at the time forbid him from ever recording it. But she never forbid us from recording it, so joke's on her. This one's called I Drink Whiskey, My Gal Drinks Wine. Well, I drink whiskey, my gal drinks wine. We don't drink too much, well, most of the time. But when we do, seems there's no doubt. You open up a little bottle and the devil knows how. When we get to drinking, man against odds, we're the cats and dogs. Heck and Audrey and Megan we differ, but you never agree. And both of us say, why you picking on me? Well, it ain't the first time, nor the last. In my eyes, it's what right past. Next morning comes about the telephone. Say, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? No, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? Come Saturday night, we're gonna paint the town. We're gonna color it red, white, yellow, and brown. We're gonna fuss by and come do it again. Come Sunday morning like original sin. When we get to drinking, man against odds, we're the cats and dogs. Hank and Audrey and Megan is different, but you never agree. And both of us say, why you picking on me? Well, it ain't the first time, nor the last. Look in my eyes, and you walk right past. Next morning comes, I'm on the telephone. Saying, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? No, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? When we get to drinking, man against odds, we're the cats and dogs. Hank and Audrey, Megan is different, but you never agree. And both of us say, why you picking on me? Well, it ain't the first time, nor the last. Look in my eyes and kiss my. But the next morning comes, I'm on the telephone, saying, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? No, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? Oh, why, baby, why don't you leave me alone? Thank you so much. So, I've been playing this odd instrumental music that you'll be hearing a bunch of tonight for pretty much my whole career, so 25 years or so. And, the thing about instrumental music is what the song or tune might be about is kind of abstract. So people often come up with their own imagery in their minds. And so very often on set break, when I'm standing over at the CD table wanting to sell some CDs and T-shirts and handkerchiefs. Did I mention that we have a CD table? Not yet. Anyhow, people will often come up to me and say, "Oh, during that third tune, I saw a sunset at the Sarasota beach. Is that what that song was about?" And I want to sell a CD, so of course I say yes. But, you know, sometimes I don't even have any imagery in mind. It's just like purely musical. But for our second album, I wanted to try and write an album that had a theme and that told a story, but was still all instrumental. So I thought I would try and find a story that most people were familiar with. So I chose the 7 Days of Creation story. And each day is a piece of music describing instrumentally what happened on that day of creation. So it's actually an 8-day week, the album, because the title track is sort of a celebration of the completing of the album. The album's called And It Was Good, and we're going to do day 2, which is called Firmaments, and the tune is called Firmaments. That is, the second day wasn't really called Firmaments, it's called Tuesday. But anyhow, we're going to play this one, and at the very least, if you don't get any imagery in your mind, at least you'll have an opportunity to hear us play all the instruments we brought for this tune. We need to justify it somehow. All right, we're gonna play another song that a friend of mine back home wrote. You know, I don't know how many of you know much about Canada, but beyond the fact that it's awful cold up there at the moment, but we're
Also very smart.
Talk to us later.
Yeah. I mean, present company excluded, I don't fully agree, but anyhow, we were touring, just to contradict how smart you think we might be, we were touring in Saskatchewan in the wintertime. And it was rather cold, and actually, fortunately, I've never actually been snowed out of a gig before this particular day, and I happened to be snowed out of a gig. And I've got a friend back home who just started songwriting like 2 years ago, and he's somehow incredibly talented and incredibly prolific. Like, if I pulled up him on my phone and my messages, you'd see he sends me like new lyrics or even a voice memo of a new song that he's written like every day. And so much so that if one comes in, like, and I'm standing around with a musician, I'll say, I bet you it's great, and it always is. Anyhow, he sent me a text while we were snowed out of our gig in Saskatchewan, and he's like, hey, what are you up to? And I said, oh, we're in Saskatchewan on the road at the moment. And a half hour later, I got a text from him with this song. And the song's called Prairie Love, and a little bit of knowledge you need about Saskatchewan is it's really flat.
How flat, you ask?
How flat? Tell
How
us,
flat
how
you ask?
flat is it, James?
They say that Saskatchewan is so flat that on a clear day you can see the back of your head.
Anyhow, keep that in mind when we play this next one for you. This one's called Prairie Love. Said you can't stop and leave me. She said you reap just what you sow. Love is just another crop. It takes care and hard work to grow. I shouldn't have to tell you twice. You're a farmer, you should know. Our love's gone as flat as the prairies. She walked out yesterday, and I can't forget she left me, 'cause I can still see her walking away. And I'm guessing romance was a factor. It ain't my thing, no siree. I bought her a diesel tractor and said happy anniversary. I'm out here harvesting my heartache. The weather's been oh so dry, and the only water that we have seen is in these salty tears that I cried. Our love has gone as flat as the prairies. She walked out yesterday, and I can't forget she left me, 'cause I can still see her walking away. Till it never turned. Keeping my lady happy was a skill that I never learned. I've had crop dust in my eyes since the day she went away, and a big old lump inside my throat about the size of a bale of hay. My love's gone as flat as the prairies. She walked out yesterday, and I can't forget she left me, 'cause I can still see her walking away. My love has gone as flat as the prairies. She walked out yesterday, and I can't forget she left me, 'cause I can still see her walking away. Walking away,
walking away.
All right, thank you. So, are there any bluegrass fans in the house? A few of you, okay. I'm going to test your bluegrass knowledge. Not to put you on the spot, but here goes. Do you know who the father of bluegrass music is? Bill Monroe, nice. Okay, now we're going to see how deep your knowledge really goes. Do you know who the great-great-grandfather of bluegrass music on its mother's side is? Who? No, we got to go a little further back. Yes, it's a little-known fact that the great-great-grandfather of bluegrass music on its mother's side was Claude Debussy. Did you know that? It's a little-known fact. So little known that only people that have seen me play are aware of it. But we wanted to dig deep into the annals of the bluegrass tradition, predating Monroe by a couple generations and staying on, the matriarch side of the family. And we dug out this one called Clair de Lune. And that's not meant as someone calling a bird crazy from Chicago, like Clair de Lune. It's French for light of the moon, just in case you wanted to know. And we did happen to record this on one of our albums, in case you like it. And if you don't like it, it's not on any of our albums.
And you have t-shirts.
And we have t-shirts for sale. All right, here we go. have a brand new album out that actually officially dropped just a week ago.
Did it break?
And it didn't break, but it's going to break records, I'm sure. You know, I like themes in my albums, and this one I wanted to pay homage to one of the most influential and most famous composers that Canada has ever produced. And so as a result, I wrote this next one for a bandmate's stomach. It's still not landing. I don't know why. Anyhow, I am the composer that I wrote that this album honors, and it's sarcasm. We have this thing in Canada called sarcasm. Anyhow, yes, the album it's called Retro, and it's all material that I wrote and recorded before the Andrew Collins Trio existed, like in other bands or solo projects, and stuff that I never really got to perform live, so because I have a band that will play whatever I ask them to, because I pay them, I thought, why not bring these songs back to life? And I wanted something, a bad joke, to be able to flop every night. I'm going to keep telling the joke until I figure out how to deliver it properly, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to wink more. Anyhow, this one it actually is a tune written for a good friend of mine's stomach. He has a voracious appetite and still like a very wiry guy, but when it comes to food, he has no control. So much so that he named his own stomach Oliver. And Oliver compels him to eat more than his brain wants him to. And he's often lamenting it after the meal is over. So I wrote this tune that sort of draws from it's not the most popular genre of music, but I'm trying to help popularize it. It's the funk folk mandocello genre. That's what this instrument here is. This is a mandocello, and this one's called Oliver's Lament. Well, would you like to hear some bluegrass? So this is no joke. We are actually going to play some bluegrass for you. But for those that didn't yell out yes when asked if you're a fan of bluegrass music, let me explain something to you about bluegrass. There are all these there are only so many themes that come up in bluegrass music. You know, leaving home, missing your parents, and the murder ballad. And I don't know why this happens so much, but for some reason there's a whole subgenre of bluegrass music and country in old time referred to as the murder ballad, and it's usually telling a variation of stories that involve two characters, a guy named Willie and a gal named Katie. And Willie and Katie love each other in this story, and Willie woos her to some far distant land to marry her only before murdering her. I don't know why it happens so much in the music, but it's a thing. Anyhow, we want to do like a variation of that. So we found this version of Willie and Katie's story that has a more Shakespearean twist. In this one, Willie and Katie love each other, but Katie's parents would rather murder Willie than let him marry their daughter. Thus the Shakespearean thing, you know, for those that don't know, Romeo and Juliet. Anyhow, think Romeo and Juliet in Appalachia. Anyhow, and instead of doing what most modern millennials would do, which is run off, elope, get matching tattoos, and then tweet about it, Willie takes his life, and then Katie takes her life. You know, the tragic and stupid, but that's just my judgment. Anyhow, and if you find this subject matter repulsive, the wonderful thing about bluegrass music is all you have to do is ignore the lyrics, and it sounds really happy. So we're going to do this one for you that we recorded. We put out a pair of albums for our third offering, 2 albums that like go together. One's all vocal music and the other's all instrumental music, and they're called Tongue and Groove. Hopefully you can figure out which one's which. This one comes off of Tongue in case you need a little help. This one's called Katie Dear. I'll turn the mandolin on.
Says yes, come back and tell me. If she says no, run away. Oh, Willie dear, there's no need asking. She's in her room, taking a rest, and by her side a silver dagger to slay the one that I love best. Katie dear, go Go ask your papa if you may be a bride of mine. If he says yes, come back and tell me. If he says no, run away. Oh, Wheelie dear, there's no need asking. He's in his room taking a rest, and by his side a silver dagger to slay the one that I love best. Silver dagger and plunged it through his troubled heart. Say goodbye, Katie, goodbye, darling. It's now forever we must part. Then she picked up that bloody dagger and plunged it through her little white breast. Say goodbye, Mama, goodbye, Papa. I'll die for the one that I love best.
Oh, thank you. So, we're from Canada, and you may have not noticed as much down here in Florida, but it got pretty weird there for a few years. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but put it this way, I've never played so much solo mandolin in my life. And in Canada, we were locked down for quite a while, so touring was off the menu for a while, and I started doing all these online workshops. And to promote them, I started writing these little tunes to, just to have something to videotape and record and put out to try and entice people into taking my mandolin workshops. And before I knew it, I had a whole album's worth of material, so I hunkered in with all the people that I had been playing the tunes with and record the album all by myself. And, well, it's not that sad because I'm playing music with people again, and I've recorded many albums since then, so I'm okay now. But did I also mention what a Renaissance man I am? I'm a published author. Yes, I'm a published author. I put out a book during those times as well. I'll admit it's a mandolin book. And it does happen to be a transcription of all the mandolin tunes on that album. So, yeah, there's that. But, if you want to play mandolin, I highly recommend this book. I think it's a brilliant book. But if you know anyone that you think ought to play mandolin, it really would make a great gift. And with Christmas being just like 320 days away, why not be prepared? And I assure you, even if you have no interest in mandolin, it's a scintillating read. Anyhow, we're going to play a song off that album and out of the book. It's one that I wrote for my aunt. The afternoon I had the surreal experience of attending her funeral virtually. Yes, all alone in my studio watching her funeral on my iPhone. Anyhow, I wrote this tune for that afternoon called I Miss You Already. Oh, thank you so much. We're going to play one more tune, then take a little bit of a set break. And if you're liking the music and you want to take some home with you, we have at least the 5th or 6th most convenient way to take it home with you in CD format. And don't worry, all CDs come with operating instructions. We also have books. I don't know if I mentioned that. And handkerchiefs. James has his own handkerchiefs that you're going to want to check out. And I'm sure you've all noticed how beautiful the mandolin is design-wise. And this isn't me bragging because I have nothing to do with it. I just admire how beautiful the mandolin is, all the gorgeous lines and curls and stuff. And you're probably even extra captivated by the headstock, wondering how Orville Gibson came up with such a strange and beautiful design. And I've got the answer for you, but you have to come look at our T-shirts to find out, because it's diagrammed on the T-shirt. So I don't know if that piqued your interest. Otherwise, please come say hi to us. You don't have to buy anything. You can just say hi. I assure you we're fascinating individuals. That's Daryl Polson on the guitar. Mr. James McEleney on the bass. My name is Andrew Collins. And we're gonna play one off the new album, one that I wrote many years ago, probably 20 years ago now, actually over 20 years ago. Wow, I'm getting old. After discovering a comedian by the name of Bill Hicks, who I thought was a genius, and this was a piece of advice, I guess you could say, coming from him, called Squeegee Your Third Eye. Also on the new album. All right, thank you so much for listening. We're going to take a quick little set break, and which time you can stretch your legs, get a refreshment, come say hi, and we'll be back for another set of music in no time at all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started here shortly. If you want to please begin making your way back to your seats. Wasn't that an amazing first set? Yes, how are we feeling? Awesome first set. Again, a reminder, we have so many different shows coming up. The best way to find out about all those shows is check out WSLR.org. We're announcing more and more shows that are upcoming. Many of them are selling out quickly. The best way to be in the room for when that happens is to be a member. If you're not a member, again, check out WSLR.org, and you can get all that information. You get discounts at the bar, discounts on membership, and again, you can find out about shows early and often. So, very excited about our artists tonight. I also want to let you know about the Critical Times newspaper that we have here. This is a quarterly in-house newspaper that our news department self-prints, and right in the middle of that section, again, is a upcoming color schedule of a bunch of so many of our different shows that are in there. So if you want to take one of those home and also check out what's going on in your community, very important. Go ahead, no problem. So without further ado, would you please welcome back to our stage for a wonderful second set, the Andrew Collins Trio.
It's a mandolin.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the second set. We're still the Andrew Collins Trio. So one of the, I guess if you get into anything, for me it's music, but if you get into anything and you get to like a professional level and you get to have an experience where you meet a hero and get to collaborate with them, it's a wonderful thing. And it's happened to me a couple times in my musical career, and any chance to collaborate with a hero of yours is really quite exciting. And I got to do a co-write on the new album with one of my greatest heroes. And I actually recorded a tune of his on my first solo album back in 2004, an album called Little Widgets. And I was really honored to have this opportunity to co-write with him, a guy by the name of J.S. Bach. Now, the piece was a solo cello suite, the prelude to cello suite number 3, and I did record it years ago, and I wanted to be able to play it with the trio, and so I arranged it I wrote accompaniment for mandolin and mandocello, thus the co-write. We basically worked together, and he didn't say that he didn't like it, so I take that as a good sign. Anyhow, we'll play it for you. This is the prelude to cello suite number 3, as performed on mandocello, mandolin, and upright bass. strange face with your eyes so pale and sincere. Underneath you know well, you have nothing to fear. For the dream that came to you and so young, told of a life when spring is sprung. You would seem so frail in the cold of the night when the armies of emotion go out to fight. But when the earth sinks to its grave, you sail to the sky on the crest of the wave. So forget this cruel world where I belong. So I'll just sit and wait and sing my song. But if one day you should see me in a crowd, lend a hand and lift me to your place in the clouds. So, I mentioned that we're from Canada a few times. Sorry. We were just out and about. Why are you laughing? And one of the one of the most successful bluegrass bands out of Canada is the Slow Can Ramblers, and Daryl Polson happens to be one of the founding members of that band. And I didn't mention this earlier, but he's not our regular guitar player. Our regular guitar player is on paternity leave from the band at the moment. He has they just had their second child, and he's staying close to home for another month or two. So we've had the good fortune and honor to have Daryl join us. Can you believe this is his his fifth gig or sixth gig with us? Sounds like he's been playing with us for years. Anyhow, would you like to hear him play a tune for you? Shall we feature you on a tune, Daryl? You got something you'd like to play?
You guys want to do the Forked Deer?
How's that go?
Well, so it's in the key of D, and it's 1, 4, 5, and the B part goes to the 5.
Okay.
This song's also about a river. I always like to joke about, how do you name an instrumental tune? Well, most of them are just names of rivers. So here's the Forked Deer.
Daryl Polson on the guitar. A song that sounds like a river and sounds like bad grammar, the Forked Deer. So let's hear it for James McEleney on the bass. James and I have been playing music together now for 14 years. And in that time, he's played in my band, I've played in his band. We've both played in the band of the guitar player that's usually in this band. And we've also played in a band that is a collaboration of all of us.
And both of these guys have played in my band before too. So
Oh, there you go.
It's true. Toronto has a slightly incestuous music scene. But, so yeah, James is a founding member of the Andrew Collins Trio, and it's been an honor playing with him. He's a great musician, a great friend, a very supportive guy on the road, and I've forgotten more about bass strings than most bass players know, thanks to him. Thanks to James here. Anyhow, he put out his first solo album just a year ago, and it's been a long time coming, and I think it's great, personally. Would you like to hear a song off of the new album? James, do you have a song you'd like to do off the album?
Oh, if you insist.
I do. I really do.
On one note, I would like to say, as a founding member of the Andrew Collins Trio, as my mother from Moose Jaw would say, I really put the try in trio. Anyways, so I made a record, mostly with a lot of Andrew's sort of patience and encouragement. And said, "You've been listening and thinking about and singing all these songs. You should finally put out a record." And so we did. He recorded it and engineered it, and he played on it. And the elevator pitch is like, "Do you like Irish music, but wish it had more 5-string banjo in it?" You know, it's a very small Venn diagram. Most people like their Irish music with a 4-string banjo. It's okay. I don't judge you if that's the way you are. This is just, I am myself, you know. But anyway, so we made this record, and you know, there's a lot of similar themes to bluegrass. You know, lost love, going away from home. This next song we're gonna do is a song called "The Lowlands of Holland," and it does actually, spoiler alert, it's about 2 lovers, and one of them does die. The good news is neither dies at the hand of the other. So it's a nice song, aside from the untimely death.
It's not a violent death.
Yeah.
So.
And very much unlike bluegrass, it's actually the man who dies in the song. So very rare in a bluegrass song. So that's how you can tell it's a little different than bluegrass. But in the last verse, there's a very important bit where the female protagonist swears off love and men. She says, "I'll wear no stays around my waist. I'll put no comb through my hair. And I'll wear no handkerchief around my neck to shade my beauty fair." Which I was like, I didn't know that was a thing you did. It was use a handkerchief to shade your beauty. But I thought it sounded nice, so I had a bunch of handkerchiefs made. And we're actually down to 1, I think. So if you need to shade your beauty fair, come talk to me after the gig.
The price is doubled.
And it is actually, I should note, it's a very beautiful, the image is, I went on a trip with my father and my wife, and we took a picture of this place in Ireland called the Gap of Mamore, and she turned it into a carving that we turned into the album cover, and then she converted it into this image that we printed onto the handkerchiefs for shading your beauty fair. So anyways, the song sounds almost precisely like this. I was married, and in my married bed there was a bold sea captain who stood at my bed head, saying, "Rise, rise, young wedded man, and come along with me to the lowlands of Holland to fight and never flee." They say that Holland is a lovely land, and on it grows fine grain. It is a place of residence for a soldier to remain, where the sugar cane is plentiful plenty grows on each tree. I only had but the one sweetheart, he's far away from me. Says the mother to her daughter, give up this sore lament, for there's man enough in Galway for to be your heart's content. Well, if there's man enough in Galway, alas, there's none for me. Since these high winds and stormy seas have parted my love and me. Well, I'll wear no stays around my waist, nor comb go through my hair. I'll wear no handkerchief around my neck for to shade my beauty fair. And never will I marry until the day I die, since the lowlands of Holland have parted my love and I. And the stormy winds began to blow, and the seas did loudly roar, and the captain of his gallant ship was never seen no more.
James McEleney. So we're going to do another song off the album Retro, off the new album, and it's also a tune that I recorded on my second solo album, and we did it quite differently, or I did it quite differently, because I think I played all the instruments on that cut, or just about. Anyway, it's a tune that I wrote the morning that I was putting my dog down, and we had a vet meet us at a farm, and a friend's farm, and, you know, put my lovely dog down, woke up in the morning, made her steak and eggs, and took her for a walk, and we put her down, and I dug the grave and laid her in and played this tune that I wrote for her after also filling in the grave. Anyhow, and it started out this solemn tune on the original album, and you'll hear kind of what it sounded like when we play the intro to the song, but we kind of changed it up and made it a little more of a jazz waltz, something that Tony Rice might have written. Anyhow, it's called Farewell, My Old Friend, and we're also going to send this out to Catherine O'Hara, who apparently just passed, and, you know, she's another musical hero, or non-musical hero, I should say, of ours, or mine at least. Actually, she was pretty good in Mighty Wind. So anyhow, this one goes out to Catherine O'Hara. Farewell, my old friend. So, have you ever been tempted, or actually not just been tempted, but gone through with when, like, you had a book report or you're in conversation with someone and you pretended that you read a book that you actually saw the movie? Well, this next tune is one that I recorded on my very first solo album. So I wrote this around 2002, somewhere in there, 2003. And it was after seeing A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I actually did have to read the play in school as well. So I have read it. And I don't even know why. It's not even relevant to the story. It's just my insecurity that I need to confess or declare that I did read it, but I did. Anyhow, but when I first started introducing this song, I was really tempted to just pretend that I'm so erudite and sophisticated that this tune was inspired by reading Shakespeare. But it was after seeing the movie, The Midsummer Night's Dream, you know, the one with Kevin Kline. And Kevin Kline plays this character, Bottom, and he's some kind of like half goat, half man, grotesque guy who has... You know, it's kind of even unclear whether it's a dream or this extra paranormal experience where he falls in love, and this princess falls in love with him and thinks he's gorgeous, and he has this beautiful night with her, and then wakes up in the morning only to find that it was either just a dream or it's over and life is back to him just being this grotesque character named Bottom. And so there's like, it's very bittersweet, lots of joy in having the experience, but loss in it being all over. And so I wrote this melancholic tune inspired by it called Bottom's Dream. And originally, on the original album, I wrote it sort of as a classical piece for mandolin quartet, but we've kind of adapted it to something different as well, featuring the mandola. This is Bottom's Dream.
I didn't see the movie.
I mean, I confess to the lie. Seems the cops are a little harsh. Well, thank you so much. We are at the end of our show. And, well, I'll give you a hint. We encore real easy. And we even have encores written on the page here. So we'll go through all the motions. And if you want more, we won't make you work too hard for it, I promise you. It is a pleasure to come back here to Fogartyville. I remember our show when we were here last time. It left such an impression on me, and I was excited to be able to include this on the tour. Not only did the routing work out, but we're so happy to come back here. I'm not sure we had such a lasting impression on the people that saw us play, because none of them are here tonight. We don't even have the same band. Anyhow, thank you to all the folks at Fogartyville for having us and for the incredible sound. Our sound check, we were finished our sound check in about a minute and a half. And then we're like, well, it sounds great to us. Do you need us to play some more? And we actually had to play some more for the sound person, which it's usually the other way around. We're like, oh, can we do one more? But anyhow, real treat to come back here, and so nice that we could play in a warm day in Florida. Warm enough where you can have the doors open and it's still warm. Anyhow, especially a great big thank you to all of you for coming out tonight, because if you weren't here, it'd be an empty room and we'd be sad. So thank you for coming and listening and being such an enthusiastic audience. We really appreciate it. Now, you might have noticed that our musical tastes are rather eclectic, which is great if you like variety, but it's not great if you have to describe your music. And you know, when you're promoting tours or shows or albums or whatever, and you do interviews like I do from time to time, often the first question they're going to ask is, in just 1 or 2 words, can you describe your music? And, you know, I put on my hobby ethnomusicology hat and start explaining the origins of bluegrass music, and how it was a fusion of all these styles, and then explain how bluegrass musicians started exploring other styles of music. And like 10 minutes in, the interviewer, if they're still on the other end, will interrupt me and say something like, can you just explain like 1 or 2 words? And for years I struggled, like almost all of my career, until some recent years when I finally figured out how to answer that question. So now, when someone asks me how do I describe our music, I just simply say, I know, but I like it.
I can't name, but I think you should. Just come out, hear us shout, and I know you would. Take a fancy glance of popular string band trends. A little of this, a little of that. Go on, tell your friends. Well, it started with a cross-eyed boy. To most, the mandolin was a toy. We did a brand new thing, and high voice he'd sing. It was the hippest thing, that bluegrass ring. Well, he took a little blues, some church singing and some fiddle tunes. He started a band at a girl's right hand. The high lonesome sound spread across the land. But then there's still just like 2 words would be great. Thank you. I know, but I like it. I can't name it, but I think you should. Just come out, hear us shout, and I know you would. Dig a fancy blitz of popular string band trends. A little of this, a little of that. Go on, tell your friends. Name a few, came Dog, Anchor, Marshall, and Rice, Bush, Flux, Fleck, Phillips, and O'Connor. They threw at the door, the rules galore, was searching for something finer. They could all tear up some grass, took swinging and all that jazz. And Jiggers and Floyd, Monroe was annoyed, some Bach, or maybe Beethoven.
God, no, but I like it. I can't name it, but I think it's good. Won't fit in a box, and a loose fox, and I knew you would think we're playing bluegrass. Well, you'd be right and you'd be wrong, but if you give us a chance, a song and a dance, you'll be a fan before too long. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we appreciate you listening. I mean, I don't want to brag, but you guys obviously wanted an encore fast. Anyhow, we're going to play a gospel number for you, one from the I got from the Stanley Brothers, one called Going Up Home to Live in Green Pastures. Troubles and trials often betray those born in the weary body to stray. But we shall walk beside the still waters with the good shepherd leading the way. Going up home to living green pastures where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we have reached that heavenly shore. Those who had strayed were sought by the Master, he who once gave his life for the sheep. Out on the mountain, still he is searching, bringing them in forever to keep. Going up home to living green pastures where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we have reached that heavenly shore.
Those who are straight. No.
We will not heed the voice of the stranger, for he would lead us on to despair. Following home with Jesus our Savior, we shall all reach that country so fair. Going up home to living green pastures where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we have reached that heavenly shore. Thank you so much. It has been a treat playing for all of you. You've been a wonderful audience, and we hope to see you again down the road when we come back here, hopefully in sooner than 8 years.